into the deep of things. Let's start with our usual house rules. Those who join us on daily basis, you know the drift. But if you're joining us for the first time, guys, this is one of those platforms where you are able to engage, debate, discuss, disagree, if you so wish, on issues of national, international, or continental importance. We do that with respect, guys. We respect each other's views here. This is not one of those lives where everybody speaks, everybody shouts. There's a fight between the host and the panelist, who is vulgar all the way. This is not one of those lives. Here we listen to each other. I listen to everybody. Even though I might not like your input, I listen and I try my level best not to interrupt unless if I'm seeking clarity. So let's keep up with that decorum. On the comment section, we do the same. We observe the same level of respect when interacting with one another. Please avoid using crying emojis. There are those kind of lives, Tandy. I'm not going to call them by name, otherwise they'll come against me. But you must have seen them. So I'm not going to call them by name. You know them. You probably have seen them. So yeah, here there's order, guys. We try to maintain order. You wait for, on the panel, you wait for the speaker before you to finish. 5 minutes per speaker, obviously, and then you can get your chance. And one most important thing, this live takes place in a public platform. It is recorded automatically by TikTok. The recording is available to me at the end of the live, and I reserve the right to repost it in my other social media platforms. But that's not what you should worry about, because that recording does not show people's faces. It does not even show the comment section. So the recording that you should stress about are those that are recorded by people using their cell phones, because those recordings does show people's faces, it does show the comment section. But like I usually say, there shouldn't be anything to worry about, guys. Feel free to express yourself, but again, be careful. If you are going to be accusing people, rather be sure of what you're saying. If you are not sure, use the word allegations, alleged, suspected. But if you're going to come and say this so-and-so did this, be cautious. But again, I don't think there's a lot to worry about. Like I usually say, these people that we're talking about, they've got a lot to deal with, rather than to come in here and police us. So let's just try to be free, but be disciplined at the same time. Yes, that's a disclaimer, Joas, because I'm not going to be held responsible, guys, for things that people say here. But I might have to intervene on some of the things that you say, because if I am not intervening, I might be sued as a host, as a person responsible for these platforms. If they can't find you, they may come after me. So if you say things that are not substantiated, I may intervene, I may interrogate you. Don't perceive that to be me attacking you or disagreeing with you. It's just to make sure that we do not stray over our freedom of expression. And last but not least, like I usually say, this is not a grow party, but because we've got the numbers, 353 people already, let's use these numbers to support each other. Let's use these numbers to make friendships. When we see anybody liking the live, already 18K likes, follow those people. When you see anybody sharing the live, follow those people. Yes, Tom, we are not scared at all. We can deal with whatever that comes our way. Afternoon or good evening, KK. So when you see these people who are double tapping, who are sharing the live, guys, please follow those people. These are the kind of friends that you need on TikTok. The gifters, they've already started operating. KK, I see you. When you see all these gifters, guys, Amelia, Tesh, NGR, Mo, Brenda, KK, please follow all those gifters. These are the people who are going to support you when you go live, but over and above that, they motivate us to stay here. For as long as they are still operating, we're gonna stay here up until you guys say stop. But again, if there's no activity, we may stop without you saying stop. So let's remember that. And as soon as I accept you on the panel, please guys, mute your microphone. On your screen, somewhere at the bottom of your screens, guys, on the right side, there's three things. One, I think it's a multi-guest. Don't tap on that thing, please. It causes chaos. The second one next to it, I think it's a flower or a gift box. Play on that one. That one you can play on it as much as you want. And there's a third one, I think it's a box that looks like a gift box. Those ones you can play on them, but multi-guest, just make sure you don't click it because you don't tap it because it causes chaos. I end up with about 30 requests of people who are on the queue. Some come on the panel by mistake. Some don't know how to mute. So let's avoid that thing that says multi-guest or interact. Don't tap it. Just tap the flower next to it. That one, yeah, we welcome it. Thank you, Musa and Angie. So yeah, as soon as I accept you guys, those who've requested, please mute your microphone. Now, quickly, my background on what is likely to happen tomorrow. For starters, I think Nandipha is going to have a difficulty arguing the question of agency. And again, it can go either way. I've seen her papers. She's arguing the issue of freedom. Her freedom of movement is being curtailed. And that's a valid argument because if you remember when the South Gauteng High Court granted President Cyril Ramaphosa's interdict against Jacob Zuma, the interim interdict, one of the things that they considered was the issue of freedom of movement. So that can be considered by the court. So we will see how it goes. But there's going to be a lot of questions towards her. And the other thing that I've noticed, Nandipha on her papers, there's one key thing that she's arguing. She's saying she was abducted or kidnapped in Tanzania. But it's interesting how she says it. She simply says, on or about the 6th of April, I was in Tanzania, and I was arrested by 2 SAPS officials. But she does not describe the 2 people who were arrested. She does not say to us, these were white or black people, were they females or not females, were they dark or short. She does not give that description, and that description is important because when you read her affidavit going down, there's somewhere where she gives descriptions which tells you that she appreciates the need to describe all the incidents that she's relating. So she's simply saying she was abducted by no, she only mentions the ones that she found on the plane, Fundiswa. It's only those that she found on the plane that she describes. But the ones that she said arrested him, she said she does not know them. I think that's at paragraph 8 of her affidavit. So that's one key thing for me. But if Nandipha is going to argue that SAPS members arrested her and detained her in Tanzania, that's going to be a difficult argument because SAPS don't have detention facilities in Tanzania. Unless if maybe she's arguing that, but it's not on her affidavit, it's not on her papers. Unless if she was arguing that those two people arrested her first and handed her over to Tanzania. Maybe there can be an argument there, but again, that's not in her papers. In her papers, she simply says, I was abducted or kidnapped by two members of the second respondent. The second respondent is Minister of Police. So, from what we've heard from Aaron Mutwaledi, she was arrested by Tanzanians, kept in Tanzanian custody, later handed over to South African embassy, later handed over to an immigration official, and put into a plane, which in that plane, from what we understand, there were Tanzanian immigration officials, again, to note. And one thing that we should note, guys, at these international airports, there's a place, if I'm not mistaken, I stand to be corrected on this one. There's an area which is designated as international space. Now, if you remember, on Tuesday, there's a guy from Zim who described the deportation process because he was once deported. I don't know if you remember that guy. He said he was once deported, and then he described the process. They take you to the border, and then from the border, you jump with the border to your country, and then the people from your country can be waiting for you that side. This is exactly the same what the Tanzanian did. The difference in this case was that the mode of transport was air. And there was no immediate border between Tanzania and South Africa, so they could not be driven to a border by Tanzanians. So they were flown with Tanzanians on that plane. And when they land at Lanzaria Airport, on an international space, the Tanzanians would have handed them over to SAPS, and again after that, they would have been officially arrested again. So that's what I think happened, coming out of what Aaron Motsoaledi told us. But most of the arguments will ensue tomorrow. Please make sure that you follow that, you watch that, but if not, I will keep you updated, guys. Don't stress. If you will be busy, I've got your back. So I'll let you know what plays out, and then we will come back again tomorrow in the affidavit to debate this. Is it possible that they did not write everything on the affidavit? It's possible, but it can work against them, because when you're making a case, so you have to disclose as many facts as you can, and that's what the court may interrogate. If you leave other details and expect your lawyers to bring them up, that can be referred to as giving evidence from the bar. So you want to be cautious what you leave to the lawyers to bring to the attention of the court. Most of the facts of what happened, it would have been ideal if she placed it on an affidavit. But the fact that she does not place certain facts, it suggests to me that she was not sure. This is what I think happened. I think Nandipha confused. Remember, guys, these people, from what you've been told, they were followed by crime intelligence officers. So by the time they were arrested by the Tanzanian police, chances are that there were two crime intelligence officers amongst the Tanzanians. So Nandipha and Timbana might have had somebody speaking Venek, Zulu, Sotho, Tswana, Tsonga, or whatever South African language that they would have had. And out of that, I think they may have concluded that they are being arrested by South African police. But that's not the case, because that will suggest that SAPS would have undermined Tanzania. And those two officers, if indeed they arrested Nandipha without Tanzanians, they would have been arrested by the Tanzanians as well. So I don't think that's what happened. I think they are confusing the issues. When we read the papers again, there's somewhere where she confused the facts. She says when they were in Tanzania, they were put on an SAPS plane, which is not accurate. Aaron Mutwaledi has clarified that SAPS sent their plane, but when they got there, the Tanzanians said, no, we're not going to hand these people over to you. We will hand them over to an immigration official, so you better charter a civilian plane. That's why we had that plane that left very late on that night to Tanzania carrying an immigration official. So again, I think they are confusing issues. And one thing that I think they did, they requested information from Home Affairs. When Home Affairs said your request is defective, they took that to mean that Home Affairs does not have the information, meaning they are lying. So we will see how it goes tomorrow. You guys can start requesting to be on the panel. Let me see who's here. And then you can share your views on what you think is going to be the situation. I hope you did not request by mistake. And Claudius. Hello, Brenda.
Hi, Bradini and everyone.
How are you?
Hi, I'm good, and you, Bradini?
I'm good, no complaints.
No complaints.
Claudius, can you hear me? Claudius, okay, I think Claudius could have requested by mistake.
Bradini?
Yes, Brenda.
While they're still, you're still trying to accept, Bradini, I think there's a complaint on the comments that the people are not getting invites when you go on live. So I think you should maybe try to check what's happening so that maybe next time it can be fixed.
I don't know. I'll check with TikTok. But I think if I'm not mistaken, really, one solution is for people to register on the live link.
Yeah.
Every day or a day or two before the live, I put up a link, guys. The link helps you to get an immediate notification. There's no way you cannot get a notification when you've registered via the link. But even people who are not registered on the link, they do get invites. So maybe it could be somebody's network or phone, or because you're getting a lot of notifications, you don't realize, because those notifications, I don't think they stay for long on your phone. I think they come and go, if I'm not mistaken. So it could be that maybe you're getting a lot of notifications and you miss this one by some chance. But I'll look into it. I'll check it. And my apologies, guys, if you've missed our lives because you did not get any notice.
Yeah. And also, Braden, we should follow each other, like, so that people, when maybe I get on a platform, those who have followed me, they can also see that I'm on the live, even yourself as well. So people should follow each other.
Yes. Hence the friendship, guys. Hence I always advocate that let's maintain those friendships. This friendship that we make here do not necessarily mean we're going to visit each other. No, these are friendships that will most likely end up on TikTok, unless if you on your own decide to take the friendships from here to somewhere else, which you are more than welcome to do. If you want to take these friendships elsewhere, by all means, please do so. So let's follow each other. Let's become friends. Unfortunately, now, guys, I've reached my follow limit. So every time before I come to a live, I try to create space for about 10 to 20 people if I've got time. I create space for about 20 people if in case I need. There are people who feel that I need to follow them to exchange information. So I've reached my limit, but if you want me to follow you, like I always say, comment in one of my videos, follow back, not here, because I'm gonna miss that. Then I'll create space for you. But if you follow Brenda, for an example, the moment she comes on the panel, when you go to her profile, it will say she's live, or when you scroll through your page, you may see her that she's on live, and then she can lead you to this live. So let's make those friendships that are important, and they might help you not to miss our lives.
Thank you, Brother.
Thank you. And Uto says, Bradeni Olepara straight. I heard you. That was smart of you, taking friendships to another level.
Brother, what is Ulpara? What is that? What does that mean?
Something like the ball. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys. I'm still waiting for people to request. We are on 64K likes. And gifters are very busy, guys. While we waiting for people, let's make sure we follow all those gifters. Tumeka at number 1, Amelia, our regular gifter at number 2, Norma, Jane, Tesh, Mujay, Nwasambo, Amu, Pana, Toto, Loko, KK, Sirole, Brenda, Miss B, Uyawande, and Amanda Jakes. Let's follow all those gifters, guys. Let me see Tumeka. Let's start showing Tumeka some magic, guys. We've got 500 and something people on this live. Tumeka has only got 26 followers, guys. Let's take this next 2 minutes to go to the viewer's eye. Our number 1 gifter needs your support. Within the next 2 minutes, I expect Tumeka to be over 100, if not 200 followers. I'm going to follow her as well. So I just followed her. So please follow those top 3. Let me check Jane. Jane, I don't follow you. Let me follow you back. So please follow all those top 3 gifters, guys. When you're done, come and comment done. It's a belief. Tumeka has only 26, guys, and there's over 500. We can show her some love. The kind of love she's never experienced apart from family, of course.
Don't forget mine, Brandon. I need to give them that experience as well.
Let me see. Let me check them. Amelia is still there at number 1. Mujay is still there. Tesh, Amu, Loko is also there. Twinkie, Gums, thank you guys for all those gifts to Brenda and the gifts to me. We really appreciate them. So make sure you follow all those gifters, guys. But Tumeka within the next 2 minutes should be smiling. All right, let's see. English with KG, Cecilia, we've got you. Yeah, this ones I know. They did not request by mistake. Remember, guys, you are more than welcome. Everybody is welcome to come and share their views. We usually encourage people to speak English because we've got people from different countries, as you know. But if you can't speak English, if you feel very strongly that you won't be able to express yourself in English, feel free to speak Venek. We will interpret. Just don't be too long. When you speak Venek, try to be short so that we cannot miss the essence of what you're saying. Because when you speak Venek, you can go all over and we don't interpret your message properly. So feel free to request and to come and share your views. And thank you for all those gifts, guys. We really appreciate them. I will take time as we go along to acknowledge you one by one. Thank you, thank you, thank you. English with KG.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Danny.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Nice.
I believe the court should ask Dr. Nandipha what she doing in Tanzania, because we want to know, because she's claiming that she was kidnapped and all that.
Yes.
So we want to know what was she doing there.
Yes. Yeah, because she's not explaining nowhere in her affidavit. Is she explaining? She's simply saying, on the 6th, I was in Tanzania and I was arrested. As to how she got there, whether she was on a holiday, whether she was in transit, she's not saying it.
Because we want to know whether she was on holiday or, you see.
Yes.
Yes, she should answer to us what was she doing there.
Yes.
Yeah,
so let's hope the judge or the judges, if it's full bench, will interrogate that, but I think it will be one judge, so we will see.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. English with KG. Cecilia Kisanga from Tanzania.
Hello, Danny. Hello, Brendan, everyone.
Hello.
So, okay, these are my sentiments. So, I couldn't join last time because this is above my jurisdiction, but I have something to say. So, it's my understanding that these delinquents, which is Thabo Bester and Nandipha, they were deported, not extradited, because they were unlawful in the country. So let me just give a distinction between the two. Extradition it happens only when you face criminal offenses or charges in that particular country, and your country forms negotiation policies to release you. Like if you guys remember the Biden thing from US who extradited the NBA woman player from Russia this year. So that is extradition. And they also chartered a plane. So this mode of transportation is very common. It's not something new. They always charter a plane, and usually it's a private charter because you don't want to mix a criminal with other people. So it's a normal thing that happens. And I won't really go into the laws because, again, it's above my jurisdiction. But these delinquents, what I know is that they were handed over to the immigration officers whose role was to ensure legally in the country they present, that is South Africa. Now, the SAP were only able to handcuff her, according to my understanding is they were only able to handcuff her when she landed in South Africa because of the pending criminal charges that she had. So they did not do anything in Tanzania. That is my understanding. So this is how every country works. You cannot have police officers from another country coming to your country and doing anything because it's above their jurisdiction and it's illegal. So I know there's difference in laws, but this is what happened. However, we know that there was security that was needed in that charter, a private jet, to apprehend and also stabilize these criminals. Mind you, they're criminals. They're not just normal people. They're criminals. So obviously there was security there to make sure that nothing happens. However, now when it comes to Tanzanian officers, I know that for Tanzanians, their job ends at the airport. Once they deliver you to the immigration officers, that's where they stop. They don't need to pursue. But I hear comments where people say that Tanzanian officers were with them until they landed in South Africa. It might be true, it might not be true. I don't know. But I know that their job ends at the airport. Once they charter the plane, they're done. Now, also, when you read the immigration law now, Act number 7 of 1995, it says that when a person is illegal in a country in Tanzania, because this is Tanzanian law, they are supposed to be detained for a certain period of time. And if the minister says that they need to face the court, they are obliged to be detained for only 28 days, and they're supposed to be deported back to their country. So since they did not stay for 28 days, that means they only stayed for 3 days. That means they did not really face the High Court, according to the law. I can also send you this link and you can read it because it's a lot of things. Now, the documents that the lawyers wanted, Nandipha's lawyer, that they requested, it was deemed confidential. And it doesn't really mean that someone is hiding something. No, it's just because these lawyers are private lawyers and they're not government lawyers. So they require a certain procedure to access them. This is in every country. It's a normal procedure. So I don't understand why she thinks they're trying to hide something. There is no restriction of access. They just need to go to a certain procedure and they will get the documents they need. I personally believe her lawyers wanted to find loopholes in order to delay the case proceedings. And this is a common tactic that is used by several lawyers when it comes to fighting for their clients. So they will bring up different strategies, then they will elongate and stall the process. This is because everything presented needed to be fact-checked. Remember, everything the lawyers are going to present, the prosecution is obliged to fact-check it. So even if it's true or not, they will still need to fact-check. And it takes time. This is why you find them postponing the case throughout. It might even take 5 years. We see the Senziwa, I don't know if I'm pronouncing right, the Senzo case, which is prolonged. There are so many cases that go even more than 10 years because lawyers are stalling. So this could be also an alternative that the lawyers are using. And the issue is people don't understand when they are stalling, it's not a burden to the person they're presenting. It's a burden to the government, to the court, because it's taxpayer. It's a lot of money that they're using to stall. And the taxes that you guys are given, the taxes is the money that is going to be used to use or to proceed all of these cases, whether it's to find DNA, to find witness, to do this and this. So this is a thing that people are doing. And we have to understand that when they're prolonging the case, people, we already know that viewers are they're very good to be, what is this? Once something is trending, they'll be focusing on that trendy topic. They'll forget Nandipha's story. So this is what they want to do to move viewers away from concentration. So it will come a point where people will stop focusing on Nandipha because it will be exhausting. It will take time, and this is what they're trying to do. You might find this case might take 10 years. I'm not saying it necessarily is, but it might take because of the prolongation. Another thing is, we have to realize that this person committed criminal offenses, and the type of typology was fraud. Before, it was violence because it was murder, but now it's removed, so it's fraud only. Whether or not that they release her because she said she was abducted, they will still have to subpoena her and she'll be back again to prison. So there is no point. I don't understand why people think she'll be let free. It's like when you commit a crime and you expect that they will let you free just because you said you were abducted. It doesn't work like that. Even people who fight for defense, they still get prison time. So she will still be convicted. I don't understand how she says she was abducted because abduction and detained is two different things. So I think she will clarify that tomorrow. But from my understanding, they did not abduct her. They just detained her somewhere. And if she was really abducted, why didn't she say this in the beginning? Why is it something right now, which is almost a month already, if I'm not mistaken? Why didn't she present it in the beginning? So I think my presentation and what I believe is just this is a stalling thing, looking for loopholes. And I hope really that people, I hope the Home Office, they will bring facts that, okay, we did not deport you. Now, another thing is Thabo. We know that Thabo just got a recent ID, right? So this shows that for things to work in the African nation, because I'm not South African, but I'm from Tanzania. We have similar issues. We need to push for our rights. Because what I heard from the media is that it's the mother who went to give Thabo the ID in prison. So it's the mother who was pushing for it. So this is basically us, that we citizens always have to push for our rights every single time. They might be there in the law, but doesn't mean that they're gonna follow it. So whenever elections come or whatever we're trying to elect people or choose our leaders, we have to keep in mind that we have to choose leaders who are committed, not leaders who just show face. When I say show face, the leaders who are just say, I will do this and this, and they don't end up doing. Because for me, I'm shocked that when he was caught in the first time, why didn't they have a DNA? Why wasn't his ID present? And someone who has lived in that country. And we know that South Africa has a lot of migrants, like Tanzania. So there are a lot of illegal migrants in South Africa who don't have ID, and they cannot be prosecuted because they don't have ID. And right now we have technology. Why is there not a database that shows all the criminals so it's easy to apprehend them? The reason, because we don't have DNA, we don't have a database. A lot of A lot of criminals are left scot-free because nobody knows who they are. They don't even know what their names are. They don't even know what they look. Imagine Thabo had to cut his hair for people to even know that was Thabo Bester. So this is a problem that is happening in the country, in so many countries, my country too, although we were able to detain these two delinquents, but we also have problems of ourselves, and it's similar problems that we're facing. So it's very imperative that we be vigilant while we're watching this case. We should be very careful not to be biased. We should be very careful not to be slacking. We should check our facts, because I don't do law. I'm a psychologist, so I had to go and study the law and see how the law in Tanzania is to know what exactly is happening. So while we're focusing on this case and every other case, we need to make sure that we know what we're doing. So those are just my sentiments for today.
Thank you, Cecilia.
Thank you so much. Very informative. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Before you go, Cecilia, somebody has been asking a question directed to you. Thabo, what was your question? I saw you saying she should answer your question, but I've not seen that question. Please type that.
I've seen it. At the time of the arrest, was Nandi a fugitive or illegal immigrant? At the time of arrest in Tanzania, she's just an illegal immigrant.
Yeah.
Not a fugitive. She's a fugitive in South Africa. She's an illegal immigrant in Tanzania. That's the difference. If she was a fugitive in Tanzania, she would have been extradited. But because she was an illegal immigrant, she is deported. There's a difference. She did not commit any crime. The only thing that she did was she entered Tanzania without legal documentation. That is all.
Exactly, and that's why Tanzanians used the Immigration Act, not the Extradition Act. So her lawyers, on her papers, they rely on the extradition process and the extradition laws, but that was not the legal scheme. The legal scheme that was used is the Immigration Act. So thank you, Cecilia.
Also, another thing is, I don't think so Tanzania will be that stupid. The system there will be that stupid for them to do a mistake of abducting her, knowing that the charges will be against them. Do you understand?
Yes.
They are supposed to follow laws, and obviously immigration and Tanzania office make sure that they follow laws. I don't think so they're that stupid to even abduct her or to blindfold her. So, but then at the same time, let's wait and listen to what she has tomorrow. But I believe that they did not do anything. The lawyer is just finding loopholes to elongate this case, and we might be listening to this case for the rest of our lives. That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Cecilia, can I ask a question, Bradeni?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think there will be a point where the Tanzania law enforcers will come and testify in South Africa?
The point is, if the case tomorrow happens and it's found that we had abducted her, then yes.
Okay. Thank you so much.
But then I think they wouldn't have to come. I think they will just do a virtual court reading, or someone will go to Tanzania and have it and print it out or record it and then say what we did. But they necessarily don't have to come here, because at the end of the day, they did their part in Tanzania, and that's it. And if she continues doing this, they might even open a case of why did you even enter in Tanzania illegally? Because mind you, when she was caught, she was going to Kenya. So if they didn't catch her in Tanzania, she will be in Kenya, and I don't know if they will catch her in Kenya. And if it is Kenya, she was planning to go to the US. So Kenya should have been another country, maybe Libya, and would have never seen her. So she was going to different countries. And we have to realize that how did she move from South Africa? Did she have a passport, or did she have legal documentation in Zimbabwe, Malawi, all of these countries, Botswana, Namibia? Did she have any legal documentation? So she will be facing charges of all the long route that she took, not only Tanzania, because you don't go from South Africa to Tanzania. There are countries before Tanzania.
Yeah. No, thank you so much.
Thank you, Cecilia.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Tash.
Yeah.
How's it?
I'm good, and you?
Good.
Yes. I would love to take this moment and say thank you for Sister Cecilia. She brought us such a very good knowledge to us that we were not aware about because of I was having something that she already clarified to me, because I was thinking on Nandipha's arrest, there was a certain loopholes, but according to how she explained, she made everything clear to me and be opened. But in checking things, why do I say that there is a little loophole for Nandipha? She might have a chance to win the case. It's not all about what you are going to say in the court of law. It's about what you can prove.
Yes.
So if the investigation officer of South Africa have a very sensitive or a very original things that they may say, yes, Nandipha, you are linked to the case of Thabo Bester. Because of, remember, in this case, Nandipha, there are lots of charges that has been removed from her. So what Cecilia has just told us now is just that I did understand, because of my question, it was, why Nandipha was arrested with Thabo Best at the same time? Because according to what I understand, it's just that since she entered to Tanzania without proper document to be in Tanzania, the Tanzanian law was supposed to question her, prosecute her, and then she face the charges there. But Cecilia has just already clarified that, as I've just said, they have made a certain argument and a certain agreement that she might come to South Africa. In terms of her getting a bail, each and every lawyer is looking for a loopholes to delay the case. And remember, in South Africa, the more the case is being delayed, it is the more you get more chances to come out of prisoner. Because if a case take much time, that accounting, because remember, even if when you are arrested and then you are given a bail and you are able to pay the bail, the following time when you go to court, they will reduce your bail. They will say your bail was 5,000, now your bail is 3,000. Why? Because of you are spending time in jail.
Yeah.
So that is my submission, that I think South African police, they can just arrest her like that. As she just said, she was arrested here in South Africa, but in Tanzania she was deported because she entered in the country without papers. But she was owing South African any explanation, which is what we want to hear. Why she was in Tanzania, why she was with Thabo Bester. But the thing is just that what I am looking at, the state is failing clearly to charge Nandipha. What are they charging Nandipha with? That's what I don't understand. Is she linked to the case? What is her charges? What is she facing in terms of if she will be found guilty? A judge has to tell you that you are charged with this and that, but that is the job of the prosecutor. If you are found guilty, you are facing these charges. You are facing 5 or life sentence or whatsoever. But we are not hearing all those things. That are my questions. And if you can check, I was listening from the case of Senzo Meiwa, and I was listening from the case of Thabo Bester. I'm following them. I stream watch them. It seems like we have attorney, we have advocate, and we have a lawyer. If you can check all those people, the advocate is occupying a higher office in law. The attorney is occupying a small office in law. A lawyer is occupying an office that is bigger than for an attorney. But if you can look how they debate, those one who are down, they have more point than those who are up. And my question is, how did this happen? Because even if you can listen to the accused, those who are linked to, they say cooperated, they called what? Co-accused of Thabo Bester's what? If you can listen to them, the advocate are failing to prove something. But a general lawyer, someone who is presenting the government, have the point. And then another thing that I want to ask before I go is just that, why in South Africa, when the judges is judging you, he asks you, are you willing to have a free attorney, or you will have a private attorney? Where is these things? Are you able to defend yourself or not? Because in other countries, a judge can ask that, are you willing to defend yourself or not? But here in South Africa, since I've been listening to the case, it seems like there is no house for that. I don't know why. If someone have an explanation for that, please help us. In South Africa, are we allowed to present ourselves or not? Thank you. I don't know if anyone has.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Were you saying something, Ted, before you go?
I wanted to ask if is there anyone maybe want to ask me anything before I go. I don't know. But anyway,
no.
I will.
No, none is covered.
Okay.
Later.
Sure.
All right, guys. Before I accept people, because I've tried to accept some few people, they keep on dropping. Let's acknowledge our gifters. We're sitting on 111K likes. Thank you for that, guys. Let's check if there's any movement on our gifters. Norma, thank you. Amelia, Tumeka now is sitting at number 3. But Tumeka, guys, is still sitting with 66 followers from 27 to 66. Remember, by now, Tumeka should be over 100 followers. So let's follow all those gifters, guys, starting with the top 3. Tumeka at number 3. Tumeka needs some followers. Let me see Amelia. Amelia has got 713. We can take Amelia to over 800 followers. So let's follow all those top 3. Come and comment down if you haven't followed them, and then you can follow the rest of the gifters. Let me check Brenda's followers. Amelia still there. Mujay, Tash, Slayfro, Norma, Amu, Loku, Khadija, Twinkie, Claudia, Stebza, Twegiment. Thank you guys for all those gifts. Please make sure you follow all those top 3 gifters, especially Tumeka, guys, and comment down. Then we can move with our business for the day. So I'm going to call the names of the people who are on the panel, guys. If you know you did not request, when you can cancel the request on your own, or when you get a notification from me, simply decline it. I've got user 2632. If you requested, just type yes, I requested. Clio, Tuso, Tepo Mahura, 082779. If you know you have not requested, guys, please cancel. If you've not requested by mistake, then just comment yes. Okay, Cleo and English, I see you. All right, Tuso, English, and Cleo. Let's start with Cleo. Tuso and English. Gianni, I've got you on the list. Did you request? Gianni, I see you on the list. Did you request, or is it a mistake? I know you are a gifter, so chances are that you hit multi-guest by mistake trying to gift. Cleo, you can unmute the microphone. Thank you guys for following them. Thank you. I see you guys are following them. Thank you. Load shedding.